Hello friends, my name is T.S. Sudhir and you're watching the Study with Sudhir Education YouTube channel. In news parlance, we would call this the breaking news. And the breaking news, which concerns all you students out there, is about the board examinations for classes 10th and 12th. And what's the breaking news? The breaking news is that the Union Home Ministry, headed by Mr. Amit Shah, has taken note of the board exams that are to be conducted for classes 10th and 12th throughout the country. A letter which has just now been put out by Ajay Bhalla, who is the Union Home Secretary, and addressed to the Chief Secretaries of all the states in the country, says, and I'm putting out this letter on your screen, as you are aware, under the guidelines on lockdown measures, opening of schools has been prohibited. As a result, annual board examinations being conducted by state education boards, CBSE, ICSE, etc. for classes 10th and 12th have been suspended. So that's the background. So the examinations were suspended in the month of March for state boards, CBSE and ICSE throughout the country, right? Now comes the operative part. Requests have been received from the state governments and CBSE for conducting the board examinations, and the matter has been examined in the Ministry of Home Affairs. So different states which wanted to go ahead and conduct the class 10 and 12 board examinations, states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, many of them have sent their request to the MHA, and that request has been examined. States, of course, like Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab decided to cancel the examinations. Also, the CBSE put out its date sheet a couple of days ago and made it clear that between July 1 and 15, they would go ahead and conduct the examinations. The point to note out here is that the MHA, at least in this letter, making it clear that no request so far has come from the council which conducts the ICSE and ISC examinations for class 10 and 12 so far, because it mentions only the state governments and the CBSE that the request for conducting the board examinations have come from these two entities. Now, taking into consideration the academic interest of a large number of students, it has been decided to grant exemption from the lockdown measures to conduct board examinations for classes 10th and 12th. So basically relaxing the lockdown measures in order to ensure that no student who is going to appear for the board examinations is put to any kind of inconvenience. So the MHA making it very clear that if a student is going to go to the examination center, the lockdown measures will not apply. However, and that those are 5 conditions which the MHA has made it very clear. Mr. Bhalla's letter to the Chief Secretaries making it clear that these conditions will have to be followed. However, the exemption to conduct board examinations will be subject to the following conditions. In the containment zone, no exam center will be permitted. So if there is a containment zone within a city, there can be no examination center inside that containment center. That is being made very, very clear. Wearing of face masks by teachers, staff and students will be mandatory at the examination center. So you will have to spend the 2-hour, 3-hour period while you are writing the exams wearing a face mask. It may be hot, it may be uncomfortable, but that has been made mandatory. There shall be provision of thermal screening and sanitizer at the centers and social distancing in all exam centers. Now, social distancing is something which all state boards at least are taking care of. The CBSE in its letter making it very clear that sanitizers will have to be brought by the students themselves. This letter also making it clear that thermal screening is also has to be provided at all the exam centers. So that onus obviously will have to be on the exam center management / the state board or the CBSE or the ICSE whenever it decides on its dates. In view of its examination to be conducted by different boards, their examination schedule should be staggered. Now this is important. What it means essentially is that you cannot crowd all the different examinations around the same dates, which means probably, and this is a thought which occurred to me, that if CBSE is conducting its examinations on 13 days between 1st of July and 15th of July, would it also be okay for the ICSE, ISC exams also to be conducted within the same 2-week period? I have my doubts, at least that's what I infer from the point number 4 in this particular letter. Also, there is some overlapping. For instance, the Karnataka State Board examinations are from 25th of June to the 4th of July. So they are also overlapping a bit with the CBSE. The Andhra Pradesh State Board examinations are between the 10th and the 15th of July. Again, there is a bit of an overlap. So how do different state boards, CBSE, resolve these kind of overlap of dates? That is something which will need to be taken care of so that there isn't any kind of confusion which affects the performance of a child in the examination. That has to be of paramount importance. The students are the most important persons in this entire system of conducting the examinations. Last point, special buses may be arranged by the states and the UTs as in Union Territories, for transportation of the students to the examination center. So the onus should not be on the parents that they need to kind of rush. Transport should be provided by the different government states in different parts of the country. So that is the letter which has been sent by the Union Home Secretary to all the chief secretaries. This is important. At the same time, there was also another important development, and this came from the Union Health Ministry. Union Health Minister Harshvardhan, he actually pointed out about the conduct of the CBSE exams after the CBSE date sheet was announced by the HRD Ministry, HRD Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank. In fact, he addressed his tweet directly to his colleague. He said, I request HRD Ministry to ensure proper cleanliness and hygiene protocol at the exam centers. Okay, so that is something which he said the HRD Ministry will have to ensure before conducting these CBSE exams. And the HRD Minister, he replied again on a tweet saying that we have issued guidelines to the CBSE in this direction. The guidelines issued by the Health Ministry will be followed at every cost. So, and what are the guidelines? Pretty much what the Union Home Secretary has put out, talking about masks being a must, talking about sanitizers being a must, again following what the CBSE guidelines had put out, the social distancing, the health of the child, that if there is any child, the parent should ensure that their child is not sick or undergoing any illness before he or she is sent to the exam center. This is also because various parents associations across the country have raised concerns whether it will be absolutely 100% safe for their child to go to the exam center, where there will be obviously 100 to 200 odd children at the same time, at least in the same premises of the exam center, whether it will be safe for their child and whether social distancing at every step will actually be maintained. And that was a concern raised by various parents associations. So the Union Health Ministry, the HRD Ministry and the Home Ministry, all of them putting their heads together, examining the entire issue of conducting the board examinations and deciding that these board exams will go ahead. So that's an important news development coming from New Delhi, from the Union government on the conduct of the Class 10 and Class 12 board examinations. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe. God bless you.